KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep into the pool, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. 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 Set up the mood.
Testicles 1, 2. Testicles. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Paranoid Radio Podcast. That feels weird. I haven't done this testicle part for the entire week. This is my first, my second episode barely this week. It feels good to come back on the mic. I lived for this shit. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am Trebles Garcia, the host of this amazing adventure. I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today. And I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Guess what? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to check out paranoidradio.com, cough up some of the t-shirts. Also, I want you guys to drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. And I fucking love making it, bro. So you guys got to love listening to it. On top of that, you could also drop 5-star reviews on Spotify. I was looking at that shit. You could also drop 5-star reviews on Pandora. Wherever the fuck you're listening to the show, you could drop some reviews. And the most important thing I need you to do is word of mouth. For those newcomers, ladies and gentlemen, Paranoid Radio Podcast revolves around conspiracy theories, Donald Trump. Donald Trump's the closest thing to Jesus Christ, specifically now after what happened. And I'm not joking. I'm being blasphemous, but it's really happening out here. Also, cryptids and serial killers and dark matter and all this stuff that we have on around the conversation. We have a new series with Janet from the Pro Nation podcast. If you know her, check her show out as well. And I have a lot of upcoming episodes dropping every single week. So make sure you stay tuned to Paranoid Radio Podcast. And I want to give a special introduction to one of my friends, one of my hosts of the show now, if anything. He has been here countless times. He is one of the 7 wonders of Paranoid Radio Podcast. He's an OG from season 1, Renegade Family of Light's very own JB. That is right.
Yeah, it's great. I love the show. Love talking with you. Love the audience. It's a great community. Flash. We did Devolution 1, Devolution 2, and we're about to do Devolution 3.
We're planning on doing Devolution 3, and it's a good timing to do it. The shot heard around the world. I want all the conspiracies to start marinating and everybody start ingesting them so that we are a source of information. But talking about fountains of information, dude, I cannot get over how much people are actually paying attention to your show. People around the freaking close people that I know have told me, is this a book? Can I pick it up somewhere? And I was like, why can I watch it on Netflix? I was like, it's not on Netflix. It's exclusively right now on Paranoid Radio Podcast.
It is exclusive right now. Damn well, it might be sold to Netflix at some point, but no. I mean, you were telling me that some of these people just don't believe that it's true, and I think that's hilarious because it's like it all is true, but yet they're having a hard time thinking, did this really happen? Like all this can't be. It's got to be fictional.
There's people conflicted about love and hate relationship with the episodes, which means it's great. That's what it means, bro. You love, but you hate it. And that means you can't stop listening to it. And you want to know what's next, even though you hate what the fuck's happening because you don't believe it, but it's still entertaining as fuck. So at this point, it's a win-win situation for Paranoid, for Renegade Family of Light.
I'm waiting for the comments to come in and just be like, you're full of shit, JB. You know, there's no way you did all that. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, man. I have a couple podcasting buddies too that they've been listening to the show. They're like, yo, like, you know, his life is like a freaking movie. Chef from Sunday Night Secret Society is commenting on one of the episodes that we dropped, one of the thumbnails, and he's like, yo, I can't get enough of this guy. I can't get enough of this series. I love the series on New Paranoid. And he tagged us. So it's awesome that people are actually engaging now, conversating after the 7th one. So yeah, dude, I can't get over this.
Man, you're gonna wait till you hear this freaking episode, man. This is a good one, man. This is actually going to be a really twist or a fun one that you're gonna be like, holy shit. But once again, you're gonna be like, is it, really, dude?
To recap it, the last thumbnail on Warrior 7, you were left off as the OG in the California low supervision.
No. Maximum security, 23-hour lockdown. 23-hour lockdown. 2 men in a 4-man cell. For about I don't know, whatever it was, 4 or 6 months, and then so basically it's been a year now. I'm dragged across the country from
you're lifting people. You're
What's that?
lifting people on freaking broomsticks, making sure nobody's seeing while you're trying to stay in shape.
Not
shit.
yet, not yet. But we're gonna be. Like, I didn't get to the broomstick yet because I was on 23-hour lockdown. So and then Oklahoma was just kind of like, get the push-ups in, but there was no broomsticks yet. But the broomsticks come here in this facility. And so now it's like I went from the hardest like stretch. That first year was just the hardest maximum. It was just brutal. So now I land in this spot, which is where I'm going to be doing my time. It's called Taft Correctional Facility. It's a minimum security prison out in the middle of the desert of California, halfway between like LA and San Francisco, out in the desert. And I just want to give a disclaimer that everything you're about to hear is true, but like I'm not, and it can be verified, like everything can be verified, but I'm not trying to glamorize or, glorify anything about prison or about it being cool or this, because it's not, but it kind of turned out to be for me in this particular spot.
Criminal activity, murder, gore stuff, homicides and suicides, and bad ultra bad boy American gangster situation sells, bro. It really does sell.
Yeah.
A lot of people, women in particularly, love the stories.
Dude, crime stories, they are huge demand. Like people have crime story podcasts, people have crime story channel, just telling stories or stories that either are real or from the newspaper or from fictional. People just eat it up. So that's why, the world has always been a storytelling. Humans have always been a storytelling. Like back in ancient times, they sat around campfires and told stories. That's how that was their TV, telling stories. So it's always good. And I've always loved the art of storytelling because that's why I became an actor. So yeah, it fits right in there. Let's start off. Let me jump into the deep end of the pool and set the fucking mood.
Oh shit!
I'm about to radio.
Blow your fucking mind. I haven't said that in a while too.
I love that one.
Love that stuff. Yeah.
So let's start off with the facility. The facility now. I'm here. This is my spot. I immediately jump into like a hardcore car, which I explained was like a bunch of guys that all like have the same program, work out, do their thing. You're part of their car now. You're in their ride. And these guys were thugs. Like they were all coming off of big stretches, 14 years, 17 years. So they were on the tail end of those stretches and down to the final, like maybe 2 or 3. So they come from maximum and now they made their way down to the minimum security camp. And they somehow took a liking to me, and they gave me a nickname right off the bat because you got to have a nickname in prison. That's just how it is. So my last name is Bolello. And I came into the yard with kind of like a take no shit mentality because I felt like I came from like a maximum security. Now I'm in this camp. Everybody must be soft in the camp. So I wasn't afraid of anyone. And I went out of my way to kind of set a tone because there was this old man he did a gang of time and he was a shot caller in the TV rooms. And he was a real grouchy dick, salty old black guy who had his own table, controlled what happened in the TV rooms. So like these older guys that were there too, like white collar guys, they were getting pushed around by him, and he would like change the channels in the middle of a show and just be rude and disrespectful. So I'm like that shit's gonna stop right here. I'm like, because I'm thinking I'm thinking I'm badass now, and I'm like he ain't calling the shots anymore. This old man. I'm like nobody liked him or talked to him, so I figured everyone wanted to see him get dealt with. So don't ask me why I was thinking like this. I don't really know what conjured up my head to just walk into a prison and just think that I was gonna fucking start fucking taking over things. So I mean I was making the wrong assumptions about the place and didn't realize that there were plenty of hardcore inmates that did hard time and should be respected, but this guy had no respect for nobody. So one day I'm watching an old war movie on the TV on purpose. It's one of those long old war movies, and we're 3/4 in, and the old man Banks walks up, changes the channel, and I said, hey yo, I'm watching that. And he says, it's 4:00, man. He's like, goes on in here. Oprah goes on in here at 4:00. Get your own program. That's how it is here. What? So I look around. Yeah, he's like, 4:00, Oprah goes on. That's how it is here, man. That's how we roll here. I look around. I see guys, they're getting ready to watch Oprah. And I'm like, okay, I guess if everybody else is watching this fucking Oprah shit, what am I going to do? So next time we're in there watching a movie, it's kind of in the night now. And he's at this table talking to one of his homies, and he's really loud, talking distracting, just like yapping away, and you can't hear shit on the TV. And he's just rudely talking loud. So I said, hey, yo, I'm like, can you keep it down, please? We're trying to watch this. And he looks at me and he blows me off, goes back to his conversation. And I say, hey, I was like, I'm asking you, I'm saying, please, can you lower your voice? And, and he's like, mind your own business, man. And he just goes back to talking.
Shit. Okay. So this guy's now, he thinks he rules this place. Yeah. He's one of those guys. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm like, this motherfucker. But now he says that, but now he lowers his voice. So he says, yeah, mind your own business. But now he lowers his voice so we can hear. So I'm like, all right, at least he acknowledged that and did that. So nothing happened. So now later on that night, he rolls up on me in my bunk and he says, hey, man, let me talk to you for a minute here, man. That's how he talked. And I'm like, yeah, come on, let's talk. Let's fucking talk. So we walk over to the back area and he says, you just got here, man. You trying to make trouble. I just did 20 years in the pen and this is my program here. You need to get your own program. I said, yeah, well, I was in the fucking pen too. and you don't have any respect for anyone. And that's not going to happen with me. He said, well, then you do what you got to do. And I got to do, and I'll do what I got to do. And I said, all right, you do what you got to do. He walks away.
Oh, shit. Okay.
The next day, I'm in the
yard.
Those
are threats. Those are fighting words. Those are
basically,
threats.
I'm like, fuck this guy. I'm like, fuck this old man.
Yeah.
So the next day, I'm in the yard. I'm working out, and two young thugs approach me. And they say, hey, yo, man, can we holler at you for a minute? I'm like, what's up, man? He's and the one guy was short, but like real stocky, like kind of like that cannonball kind of build, like a short cannonball. Mm-hmm. And the other guy was kind of tall. And he tells me, hey man, the old man, he has us on the payroll to handle any business that needs to be handled. If if I would just be cool and just do the right thing by staying away from him and just avoiding him as much as possible, because they don't want it to escalate into something that's going to be a problem. And they were being real cool and respectful about it. And I said, well, this fucking old man is making it real hard to deal with, because he takes over the place and he has no respect for anybody. He's a dick. Mm-hmm. And they said, yeah, we know, man. He's real difficult. He's old man grouchy, but he's real sick too. And he's on his way out the door. He's got a little bit of time left. So just do us a favor and stay away from him. Can you do that for me? I said, no problem, man. And he took out his hand and we shook hands, and I was like, all right. That's the end of that. That's the end of the old man, because it turns out like, a few other guys like me that were in there had the same kind of issues with him, and he put a hit on them. And then one night, this one guy was in the TV room, was watching TV, and then these thugs rolled up, and they had these like water coolers, like, kind of like the ones that you walk around with, like a thermos kind of thing. Water cooler, if you're on the court or something, you jug of water, and then it has the handle. They came in with one of those things, water it, and they fucking just cracked this fucking guy right over his head in his chair, and he just fucking keeled over and was out cold and freaking and then they walked right out. And that was because that guy had an issue with this guy, and he fucking sent his thugs after him. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, man, I don't want none of that shit. So, I realized he had some pull, and there was a reason why he was getting away with what he was getting away with. And people just wanted him to just either drop dead or just be done with his time, but they were just going to put up with his shit. So that was my first week in the place, bro. So it was a great start.
Shit. So you have a long road.
Yeah, I'm on a 10-year stretch. This is my first week. And I don't like, who does this? Like, I don't know why I was getting myself involved in shit, but in a way, it kind of gave me a rep for being aggressive. And so guys that were seeing me, they were kind of like, like the guys in my car, they were hard guys. So they liked me right off the bat, but they thought, they felt like I was aggressive too. But my last name being Bolello, and me having kind of like an attitude or chip on my shoulder, they started calling me Mellow Bolello as kind of like an opposite thing, like mellow, but the opposite. So Mellow Bolello turned into just Mellow. So from then on out, my name was Mellow on the compound. It was like, what's up, Mellow? Yo, Mellow. And then it was, sometimes it was Johnny Mellow. Yo, what's up? So that was it. That's who I was known for. And that's how it started. So now let's get into the real story of the prison, which is the facility. So you ready for this? You're going to laugh when you hear about this.
I'm down.
Here's what a typical day looked like for me on this facility. I wake up at 7:30, get some breakfast at Chow Hall, either that or makes myself some oatmeal, peanut butter, and coffee, and then meet up with a different crew and for racquetball. So we play racquetball every morning. Every morning we're on the courts. We're playing fucking racquetball, two on two. There's a couple of courts, so there's 4 guys on each court. And you win, you're on, and you lose, you're off the court. So we played freaking like every day hardcore. And I sucked in the beginning, but as you know, of course, I got really good fast. And so then I was playing with the best of them. And so like we played from about 8 to about 10:15 to play racquetball every day. Then we get ready for count time. You got to go back. You got to get ready for count, which is at like 10:30. So 10:15, we wrap it up. We're sweating. And now the count comes by. If the count's over, kick it for a little bit, read some book, then get ready for chow, go down to the chow hall for lunch, get some good food, some chicken, some whatever, some hamburgers, whatever. You go down, you get the tray, you get the thing, you put it on, drinks, fucking just like chill style. Then after lunch, then we work out. We do the workout routine with the guys, and then we start freaking doing grappling, MMA, because MMA was just starting to become big. Like that first season of American Fighter came out with the UFC American Fighter show, and we would watch that show, and then we would go and practice those moves the next day on the yard. So we're doing all this grappling stuff. And that's when I was telling you how, like, like they were testing me and I had to like, fight guys and just prove myself. But it wasn't like fighting like to the, like to try to put a guy in a hospital. It was just like, going at it and seeing what you got. And I would just go at it with anyone. And I would be a tough guy to freaking, to deal with. And I know I got my ass kicked plenty of times too, because there was some badasses, but they saw that, like, I didn't back down and I was always ready. I was always down for whatever. That's
one of the biggest things in I think in any jail. I didn't go to the pen, thank God, but there was, as long as you got down, you had respect, bro. As long as you were down to boobop, that was all.
That's really like show that you're down for whatever's needed, and don't be a little bitch. Don't freaking don't pussy out. And you never use that word bitch or punk. Those are 2 words you never use in prison of addressing someone. You call someone a bitch or a punk, it's immediate grounds. You have to fight. You have to punch that guy in the face, because that's just the ultimate disrespect. If you call somebody a bitch or you call him a punk, you say those 2 words, it's trigger. It's like a trigger word. And what's crazy is that when I got out, and how people in the world out here, they're just like, yo, bitch, stop that shit. I would trigger me, man. Like someone said that word, like towards me, it would trigger me, and I would be immediately like in some kind of like aggressive, ready to fucking pounce mode. But I'm like, I'm not in there anymore. You leave that where that is. You've got to adjust. You don't just act like that. You don't bring that on the streets. And there's guys that do that. They think like the prison rules apply to the streets, and they don't understand why it's not that like that. And I'm like trying to tell them, like, listen, that's a different universe. You got to leave that where that is. And now you got to adjust to this rules, because that's the way you came into the place. So I can't just go popping somebody for saying the word bitch or punk, especially when they're kidding around. They don't mean any harm, but it did trigger me, and it kind of still does. Like, I mean, I don't hear it often, but it's just one of those things that stays with you.
It's flat or fight immediately. It was all survivability.
Because if you don't, like if somebody says it and you don't, and you become accustomed to know that if somebody says that, they're trying to disrespect you in the ultimate way, and they're trying to basically say, let's go. Like that's what you're saying when you say that. You don't just say that to say it. You say it as in like, I want to fucking get down with this guy. So now here's the thing. Here's the facility. So we got the racquetball in the morning. We got the food. Then we got the workout. Then I wasn't on this, but then we got tennis courts, basketball courts. We got a ball field, a baseball field that's where I would do. I was playing softball. So there's softball teams, leagues, basketball teams, leagues. There's tournaments. There's racquetball tournaments, leagues. There's tennis. There's track, run around the track.
They keep you guys busy.
Resort. It's a fucking dude. This is prison, and it's like there's so much to do, and because it's minimum security, it's a camp. So basically, there's no walls, there's no fences. There's like you could literally just run off the property and escape if you wanted to. There's nothing holding you. They're basically holding you by your word and your honor, because guys that are coming off a 20-year sentence, they're getting ready to go home. They're this close to home. They're not going to run. They just did all their time. Yeah. And then guys that are maybe first time say like me, they're happy to be at this place. They don't want to ruin it. So, because if you try to escape, now they're going to put you in a maximum or a higher level security. So you don't want to fuck this off. Like, this is good time. So that's what keeps people in line is because they know as soon as you do something wrong, you're out of there. Like you're out of the place.
You're starting all over. You're gonna get some cases again, bro. They're gonna multiply.
Not even cases, but if you just get yanked and now you're getting thrown into a high security place, now you're back to the bars, you're back to the gangs, you're back to all the hardcore aggressive stuff that's just not fun. So guys that are there want to stay there. It's good, easy time. So it keeps guys from doing things that you think twice, and it prevents things from happening. But plenty of things still happen because guys just react. They act out of reaction, and they don't think, and then they do something, and then they regret it, but they're off the fucking compound, or guys just don't even want to fucking hit the streets. They're scared of the streets. That's a real thing too. Guys are petrified of getting released because they've been down so long. They don't want to deal with the real world. So
you know what? I've noticed people like that. That's what it is.
It's a real thing, like a real.
They come out and they want to they can't live with their wife, their spouse. They can't live with, kind of like the movie American.
Dude, you got to pay bills now.
What's that? Like you come in, you like the movie American Me. If you guys remember, like it's a classic movie in late 80s. The dude comes, he did juvie, he did all his life. He came out when he was in his late 30s. He came out and he just gets back in. He already knows the program. Like it's easier for him to be in jail than to
much
be
easier.
Out in the world. It's freaking crazy.
There's guys that get out for like a month or two, and they do whatever they can to get back in. They say, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go on a robbing spree till they catch me, and I go back home." That's their home because you got a cot, you got a roof over your head, you got 3 meals a day, you don't got any bills coming in, you don't got to fucking do anything.
The system, you know how to work
to support. You work a job for like whatever it is, 60 cents a day, but you do side hustles, and then you got your program in there, and it's in a way it's safe because like it's danger and it's violence, but that's all so that's comfortable to you, but it's safe as in you don't got to deal with like life, like not having a place to live, being homeless, like not having. So like you get out in the world now, like job, convict, people telling you this, license, it's just overwhelming. It's too much. And that kind of happened to me too. Like I was after 5 years, that kind of like was a shock for me to come out. So you're now, there's no walls. And it's good time. You're on vacation practically every day. Like think about your life. Like you get up, you play racquetball, you work out, you fucking play hoops, you play fucking sports, baseball, softball. You're just fucking playing all day. There's a pool room. There's a fucking music room. You could play with a band and music. You could learn gardening, shop work, everything that you could think of. I guess to rehabilitate you or just keep you, sane. That's it, dude. Like that's where you want to be. If you're gonna, that's why I wanted to put the disclaimer out because I want to basically say like if you got, if anybody's about to be facing time, I don't want you to think, hey, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna have a good time or whatever because it's just that's just not the reality. But it kind of was, it is or was from my position. But that first year, it was a nightmare. And you could be in any one of these situations. You don't know where you're going to land or how things are going to turn out. Even in this facility, things could go south really bad. And there was a lot of times where I had to prevent myself from reacting and acting because I didn't want to fuck it off for myself. So, you keep it. If you're going to go at it with somebody, you guys go in the bathroom and you go into like the shower stall where no cameras are and nobody could see. And then you just guys go at it right there in the shower. And then whoever walks out, you walk out, and then you try to just cover up your lumps or whatever. But if you have lumps on you, they're going to call you down and they're going to figure out that you got into a fight and they're still going to take you off the yard. So, but that's what guys would do. They would just go into the shower stall and handle their business if they wanted to, go at it. So that's and then I would have like after the workouts and all that stuff, that would be playing chess in the inside room with nice AC, and then read some books, got a cot, then get ready for dinner, and then fucking again maybe shoot some pool after dinner, and then eventually the card game started. And now like there was no card game when I got there. There was no card game. It was just like pinochle, what do you call it, spades and chess. So I was all about the chess, and then I got really good at chess. I was reading all these books and fucking masterminding and thing, and now I was just like destroying people. And so it was kind of like I love the game and I still do, but it was like all of a sudden a card game started and I was just like, oh man, I've been waiting for this. So like it was just the one day where this dude Benny Laws, we became really good friends. This small, like skinny black guy, but he was a great pool player. I mean, great basketball player, amazing card player, really smart, and he was like the bookie of the compound. He was like the guy that people placed bets through and did their action through, all the gambling through. So he started a card game, and it started off with like a tournament where we would play a tournament. Everybody would either put up a book of stamps, that's money. Stamps are considered currency inside, and food and commissary. So we would put up like these beef packages or chicken packages or tuna packages, and that would be like valued
That's
at a
gold.
certain dollar amount. Yeah,
That's fucking gold in jail.
so everybody puts up like one beef package or chicken package, and you got whatever 15 guys playing a tournament. Now you got 15 packages that you could potentially win and be eating really good for a while. So we start off with a tournament, and we play it, and I win it. And then, so I got all these beefs and everything. And next thing you know, it was off and running. And then that tournament kind of started it, but then it turned into like a nightly cash game where it was a cash game that after dinner, like 8:00, it was on a ping pong table. Those are big tables, those ping pong tables. And we would seat like maybe 10 or 11, 12 guys around the table. And then guys would be waiting on the sidelines for somebody to bust out so they could get a seat on the table. And it was a casino, and we would be off like in the corner, and there would be TVs playing and guys watching TV, but we would be like, the casino would be on and popping every night. And we were playing we were playing real poker. And Benny
had some fun during the last few years of jail.
Dude, it was the gravy, dude. So now the card game is rocking, and Benny's he's like the casino guy. He's running the game. He's collecting the money. He's paying out all the payouts. He's keeping
obviously
track
he gets a little cut too for organizing the whole thing.
He's the house. Like basically, he gets a little cut of every hand. So he is the house. He's doing very well. We got a dealer. We got a specific. We tip the dealer. We've got freaking people walking around. And I'm basically like the best player in the fucking compound. Like me and Benny were the two best players. But now Benny was the house, and he would play, and nobody could beat us, dude. It literally was like no one. We would go at it with each other, and we would try to take each other's heads off just to get better. Because I literally was in love with the game. Like, I'm reading on it, I'm studying it. I'm like, that's how if you haven't figured out by now, like, I just become obsessed, and then I just want to learn everything I can about whatever it is that I'm doing at that time. And poker was, dude, I was in love with the strategy, the psychology, the math, the fucking money. It was all perfectly situated for me. The action. And dude, time, just killing time. It was like fucking, I was on cloud nine. In other words, I'm making a shitload of money. Like, we're playing 5 and 10 cents. That's the stakes, 5 and 10 cents. And I'm making like $100 a day playing in this compound.
What?
Yeah, dude.
You're taking everybody's money.
Dude, destroying people to the point where we both had to talk, and we said, we got to fucking back off and let these guys win a little bit, because they're not going to have anything left, and they're not going to want to play against us. So we got to start letting them win a little bit, go soft on them.
You got to do a stimulus check.
We literally did, had to let the lamb kind of grow its hair back, because guys were getting fucking wiped out so quick. They would show up, because these guys, they just didn't really have like poker at that time was just starting to explode. It was like the World Series of Poker took off, and now it was like becoming like a real big thing, but it was still in the beginning stages. So all these guys were really into it, but they didn't know how to really play the game. So they were real soft and easy. And it was just like, it wasn't even a challenge, because that's how easy they were to fucking beat. And like, you got the Asians, Asians are very, very action oriented. They want to get it all in with anything. They just love the action. They're always like that. Asians.
Oh, yeah.
They live in the casinos. They love the action. So we had those guys. Then we had like the tight players. Then we just had like the complete newbies that didn't know what they were doing, and they would just sit down and lose everything. And there was just guys that were getting wiped out that just like that you would see them for maybe a month, and then there was it. They had no more money. They were out, and fucking they couldn't play anymore. And then the game started dropping to where less and less people were able to play, because we were beating them all. Like fucking, we've taken all of them, skinning them alive, and now they couldn't play anymore. So we're like, we got to get these people back on the thing. And we would wait for new players to show up on the compound and want to play. We'd be like, come on, let's get some new blood on the table, because we need 2 new people to skin.
Yeah.
And that's how it went, dude. And it was like that every night. We would start at like 8 at night and play till like 4 a.m, dude. Like we would
Get out, dude.
Dude, like after everybody would go to sleep, and because it was like you really didn't have to go to sleep. It was like you could just stay up all night if you wanted to in this place. Like fucking, you do whatever you want. And guys would go to sleep, and then it would just be like me and like maybe 2 other guys going at it, four of us, and then sometimes it was just me and Benny going head to head, trying to take each other's heads. He and I would we would go after each other. I still had the better of him, but he was a fantastic player. Don't get me wrong, like he was a beast, but I had him. Like I I'm like, listen, you're great, but you just can't beat me. And fucking, and he would hate that, and then he would challenge me. He would be like, all right, let's go,
take
man.
more money
Let's put
from him.
500 on the table, heads up right now. I'm like, dude, you really want to do this? I'm like, do you really want to lose your money? And we would sit down and we would go heads up, and fucking I would just fucking take him, destroy him. I knew all his moves.
$500. Okay, so you're talking like, listen, I put this into perspective. Each person is chipping in 10 cents. You're making $100 a day for a person
10
to say
cents for an ante. So in other words, you're playing 5 cents and 10 cents as the ante, and then a guy raises to like 50 cents, and then a guy re-raises to like $1.50, and then a guy comes in and says $5. And next thing you know, guys are fucking shoving their chips in, and now it's $100 pot, and it's fucking, it's getting scooped. And so, and then we would have chips. Like he would have these Uno cards, like like a bunch of decks of Uno playing cards, because nobody else had those, so you couldn't counterfeit them. Guys couldn't come in and start like sneaking in chips. So he had these Uno. He was really smart, this guy Benny, a real math whiz too. He could add anything up in his head. And so he would cut these Uno cards into specific shapes, like squares and triangles, and they would represent the value of the chip. So it was like, I don't know if you know anything about poker, but
not really.
Okay, so you got, if you know about poker, like you'll appreciate all the stuff that I'm saying, but like a triangle chip was like a $5 chip, and that's like a big chip. And then you got like a square chip that was a certain color or something that was like $1, and then the other ones were like small denominations, and guys would just be splashing their chips into the middle of the pot like they're playing real poker. And so scooping those pots with all those chips was a great feeling. It was like you were really playing a casino game. And so, you would scoop the pot, tip the dealer, and at the end of the night, you would have your stacks of fucking Uno chips, and that would be what you made, and we would count it up at the end, and then he would log it into the book. All right, Mello, he's freaking, he's up with X amount of dollars today, and then next thing you know, he'd be like looking at my total for the week, and I'm like, I'm at like $1,000.
So, but would there be people did you ever have the issue where people wouldn't pay up?
Well, that does happen, but you try to, like you can't get away with that. Like you might not be able to pay today, but you're going to pay, because where are you going? Like you're not going anywhere. Like, you don't want to, like, especially in the higher security, the last thing, the rule of thumb is don't get involved in any gambling. Don't do any drugs while you're in prison, because you will fuck up and you will owe somebody and you won't be able to pay, and then they'll fucking take it out on your ass. That's the biggest trap to fall in, is gambling inside the pen. But for me, I had the edge. I wasn't betting sports and I wasn't doing anything else. I just had a major edge. So this was like perfect spot for me to gamble it up. And because it wasn't really a gamble, it was like pretty much I was, going to win regardless. Even if they won 2 nights, like that was all coming back. I was happy if they won a couple of times, because eventually, guys will get lucky and do all that shit. So he would add up my total, and I would always be at like these monster fucking totals where now that money is in the bank. And it's kind of like I could use it as credit. I could use it to do whatever I want. I could put an order in for food, for anything I wanted. And dude, that's when I started living like a king, bro. Like I had so much of it. I would just put orders in for food, like commissary. I would just give him a fucking order, $100, go get me this. I'd mark off a list of him to get me, and then he would come to my cell and have all the shit on that list. And then I would pay guys to fucking clean my cell. I would pay guys to do my laundry. I would pay guys to cook for me. I had my own personal chef, like a guy who had a menu.
You were feeding the economy in there, bro. You were taking
dude,
it.
Guys are hustling. Yeah, guys are hustling. They're looking to make money because they don't have anything coming in. So I'm giving them work. I'm giving them
work. And then they come in and play with you. They lose it again, and then it's a cycle.
Yes. But everybody's got to hustle because they're trying to make. They're trying to live, and so like guys are like, I'll do your laundry, I'll do you this, I'll cut your hair, I'll give you a tattoo, I'll cook you food, and so dude. Dude, I mean, I got like the best fucking clothes. I got brand new sneakers. I got the fucking headphones on. I got fucking the what? I got whatever I'm living large, dude. Like, it's as good as you could possibly get, bro. I'm like the king of the place, man. Like, I own it. I run it. It's like, I don't have to, it's like, there's not, like, it's all just coming to me. I'm like on top of the world living there. And guys are making like sick food, like cakes and pies and fucking anything you want. These guys can make. They steal it from the chow hall and then they fucking figure out how to make it. And there's microwaves and stuff in there. And they just do it. Tacos, whatever you want. They can make. They have a menu. These guys, and I just pay them, dude. And I pay them and fucking they make me my. So I don't have to lift a finger while I'm in there. It's just kush. It's pure kush. And hold on a second. Catch my breath. I don't want to leave, dude. I don't want to fucking leave. Like, the world is falling apart right now. The economy is garbage. It's 2007, 8, fucking whatever it is. It's the economy's at the bottom. The gas prices through the housing market crashed. There's no jobs out there. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, you could keep that. I'm going to stay right here. I'm good. I don't want to be there. I did not want to leave. Like, I was like, I'll do the full 10. I was like, I'll do the full 10. I don't care. Like, you could fucking keep that world, because it was not a great place to be. It was not a good place to be in 2006, 7, 8, 9. It was bad. It was like everything was bad. I don't know if it's kind of like today, because there was no jobs. People weren't getting any jobs. So it's
I remember that. I remember I was 17.
Depressing.
I was about to graduate from high school, and my dad had foreclosing the house. They were foreclosing.
Yeah, a lot of
foreclosures. Had to freaking start doing
the whole housing bubble
bottles and shit. I remember that.
The housing bubble, because it skyrocketed from this predator lending, and then it just crashed, and everybody lost their shirts, and it was a big problem. And like, and then the fucking whatever wars that they were doing, the Bushes were in at the time. I wanted Obama to win, but believe I didn't know what the fuck was going on in politics at the time. I was like, oh yeah, let this guy be. He's a fresh face. So I was actually rooting for him. So now I don't want to fucking leave. I'm like telling my mom, I'm like, fuck it, I'm good. I'm good to go. Like, fucking, I'm getting thousands of dollars fucking rolling in. I'm living great. There's nothing fucking, no problems here. And then one night we're playing the casino. And we're rocking. I'm having like the night of my life. It was like the best night of my like, I was literally fucking just taking down everything. Next thing you know, the fucking guards roll up on us and fucking they roll up on the game, and they fucking got us up against the wall, because it's illegal. Like, what we were doing is totally illegal. You can't be gambling.
Get out. Don't.
Yeah, you can't be gambling.
Here we come. Fucking JB.
But we're not bothering nobody. The plot twist. We're not bothering nobody.
Oh, shit balls. I thought you were going to go to
you know
another
what? We
prison
were
or something.
bothering. We were bothering people because we were so loud and crazy during these games that the people watching the TVs couldn't watch TV, and we were distracting them. And so they got fed up with it. And there was a bunch of like little snitches on the yard, because they would get paid to snitch on people. So there was a bunch of those guys. And so we got rolled up on. I was like, they all knew what we were doing. The guards knew. They just didn't care to bother us, because we weren't really causing a problem. Nobody was fighting, and we were staying like kind of like to ourselves. But they were getting word like, these guys are bothering everybody, so you got to break up the game. So they roll up, like the night that I'm having like the sickest night of my life. I think I'm up like hundreds of dollars early on. It was like, wow. The whole, like, the game was just rocking. And then, because I was the VIP of the game. Like, I had my own seat. Like, nobody could sit in my seat on the table. It was like, because you had the
whole whooshu stuff. Yeah, like, I gotta sit here, dude. North, and then only at this time, like,
because I brought too much to the game for them to not have me at the table. So they roll us up. They take the game down. They take the books. They take the chips. We're cuffed. Basically, we're cuffed and we're processed like we just got arrested, and fucking we're thrown in the hole. Like, we're stripped of everything that we have, and we're thrown in the hole because of this game. And so now it's all gone. Fucking the game is over. We're sitting in the hole now for months. It sucks. It's like I'm back down to the bottom, like fucking back down to the county, whatever it was. It was not a good feeling. But the only thing I kept thinking is like, what are we going to do when we get out? We're not going to be able to play no more. I'm like, whoa, this sucks.
That's all you had in your head?
That's all I had in my head was, how could they do this? Because the time was so good like, now what am I going to do with that time? Now I'm going to be thinking about doing time. Like time is going to be on my mind instead of just me playing. Like, cause time wasn't on my mind. I was also playing fantasy football. I was in fantasy football leagues, and fucking, we would take the newspaper. We didn't even have computers or anything. We'd take the newspapers and get all the stats and write them down. But these were real fantasy football leagues that we were having a great time playing. And then Sundays we would watch the games and have our players play. So time was flying by, bro. It was like the years were just fucking rolling by like nothing. It was like Christmas, fucking New Year's, summer, fall, Christmas. It was just like, it was just going by real fast because I had all this action going on. Now we finally get back to our to the compound, and they strip us of all our stuff in our locker rooms, and all the stuff that we had, and they give us new facility, like kind of like the bottom of the barrel. I had like a window cell with a cushy mat on my thing. Now I got this plastic mat, no pillow. I'm in this 3-man cell. It's like you're at the bottom, and they give you the county shoes again. So you got to reassimilate into the fucking population. And now it was depressing, dude. It was like we had months where it was just like no game, dude. I was just like walking around like in a fog. Like I was so upset that there was no game. And yeah, it was literally depressing. I didn't know what to do. It was so boring. And here's another thing. On this compound, a fucking wild dog would roam onto the compound, and for some reason this dog bonded with me. Like, this was a wild dog. It was a black, like, wild dog that lived on the wild, and there was coyotes out there, and he used to fight the coyotes, but it would win, and it didn't go near any humans. And if the dog catcher would try to get it, even bait it with food, it wouldn't go near it. But for some fucking reason, this dog zeroed in on me. I gave it some food. I pet it. I fucking gave it like, some connection thing. I really liked the dog. It was like a companion because I'm a dog guy. And now this dog was my dog. Like, it would come on the compound every day and wait for me. All these inmates would be walking by. He would ignore them all. As soon as he sees me, boom, he's right to me. And now we're hanging out.
What?
Yeah, this is actually the saving grace, because this took away my depression thing. And now I got this buddy of mine. He's my buddy. Okay. And I called him Buddy. Now the whole compound calls him Buddy. Everybody knows him as Buddy, who's Mello's dog. He doesn't go near anybody except for me. Like, he just waits for me and fucking follows me around and hangs out with me, and we're just buddies. We hang out. Mm-hmm. I give him food every day. I try to kind of I make like a little water pool for him, because it was like in the mud, because it was really hot. It was like 115 degrees in the desert. Mm-hmm. So like, he'd be hot. He would jump in that mud, that cool mud, and everybody, he was like the compound dog. They had guys in the leather shop that made him a fucking collar out of leather that said Buddy on it, and they gave him the collar and said Buddy on it. And then he wasn't supposed to be on the compound, so the guards would try to fucking capture him, and he would evade them all the time. Like, they would have the dog catchers trying to get him with those rope things that are around the neck, and he wouldn't take the bait. He would run away. He wouldn't take the shit. And then now it was finally they come up to me and they pull me into the office, and they say, "Listen, there's two options here. Either you help us get the dog, put him in a cage, and we can get him off the compound, or we're going to kill the dog. Like, we're going to shoot the dog. So he's not supposed to be on the compound. It's your choice. You either help us, and maybe the dog's life could get saved, that somebody can adopt him or something, and or you don't help us, and we're going to shoot the dog." So I was like, holy shit. So I call my girl, she's a big dog person. We rescue dogs all the time. And I'm like, you got to get up here like this Sunday and fucking get this dog. They're going to kill him. I'm going to help capture him. We're going to put him in a cage, and then you're going to pick him up, take him home, and just fucking save him. That's the job. And she's like, all right. Wow. Yeah. So I felt like, all right, he's got a home to go to. Like, he's going to be there or something, but I'm not going to let him die. This
fucking story just went in from fucking
the plot twist. So we'll wrap it up here.
I love it.
So we'll wrap it up actually, you know what? We'll wrap it up right here, and I'll tell you the rest of the dog situation on the next round, dude. This is the cliffhanger.
Compassion, gambling. Look at that. That was gold.
That's a fun one, right? That's a fun one.
That's gold.
I enjoyed telling that one because it was so much fun living it. Who would think? Like, I'm going to do an episode saying I lived like a king in prison. And I'm just going to title it like that, because I did. I really did.
Bro,
people would never know it.
You have to make a book. This will fly off the shelf, dog. You
Man,
put it, if you know, think about it, bro, that you're sitting on gold. This could be another breakthrough, bro. This could be a real
store,
breakthrough.
the heist, the identity theft, the fucking crystal meth, the fucking feds, the fucking dude, it's fucking insane.
I want everybody to make sure after they listen to this episode, bro, you gotta drop this dude a comment up, bro. Drop a comment on the freaking thumbnail or check them out. Also, Renegade Family of Flight on Instagram. Again, Renegade Family of Flight. JB from Renegade Family of Flight came and dropped Hammer of the Gods. There was true crime. There was gambling. There was empathy. There was a pet.
And there's prison. Buddy. There is Buddy. What happened to Buddy? Dun,
dude.
Dun, dun.
Thank you so much for joining us, JB. Yo.
All right, peace out, people.
Make sure you check us out at ParanoidRadio.com. Drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Peace out, people. That was awesome.
Paranoid Radio.